The current alpha line of cameras from Sony have some of the best camera technology currently on the market. And in the case of the new Sony A7C Mark II, has the brand new AI chip that improves autofocus and will even keep you centered in the frame automatically. But with all that amazing technology built into them, some of these new Sony cameras also have a feature that many people in my community have been waiting for a very long time. And I personally think might be the most important feature of all. Hey guys, my name is Sam. Welcome back to The Blind Life, where I help you learn how to live your best blind life. I make content focused around vision impairment and mainly feature cutting-edge assistive technology. So if that kind of content is important to you, definitely subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you'll be alerted every time I put out a new video, which is every single Saturday. Now, the feature that I am referring to and what we're going to be talking about in today's video is the brand new screen reader. Now, the first thing we should mention is why a screen reader is so important. I know a lot of people out there would say these are cameras. This is a very visual medium. Why would blind people be interested in using these? Well, I am visually impaired, legally blind, and have been since I was a teenager, but creating content on YouTube and other social media has become my career. So making the tools that I need to do that more accessible is very important to me. And I'm not alone. There are many people in our community that want to shoot video, want to take high quality professional photos, and we simply need access to the tools to be able to do that. So a huge thank you to Sony for being one of the first, maybe the first, to do that for us. Now, I actually made a video last year about the new screen reader, but at the time it wasn't fully completed. But now we have a fully working almost fully working screen reader. There are still some areas of the camera that the screen reader doesn't work in, but we do have a workaround for those areas, and I'll definitely tell you guys about that here in a second. All right, let's dive into the settings and we'll take a look at the brand new screen reader.
Shooting, movie, shooting, tab, button.
All right, and we get our first glimpse, or I guess listen, to the new screen reader. It has a very pleasing voice. It's a female voice. You can adjust certain aspects of the screen reader. We'll look at that here in a second. But I already have mine turned on because I'm visually impaired and this is how I'm using my camera. But let me show you quickly where to find this screen reader.
Exposure color, focus, playback, network, setup, tab.
We're going to go down to the setup tab.
Area date, reset saves, operation customize, dial custom, touch operation, accessibility, button.
And we want to scroll down to number 6, which is accessibility.
Screen reader, button, rear dial page, delete button, context menu button close.
Now, we actually have, with some of the latest updates to this operating system or this menu system, we have new additions into the accessibility settings area here. And I'm going to go over those in a future video. Stay tuned for that. But today we're just talking about the screen reader, so I'm going to click on that.
Screen reader 1/1. Screen reader on. Button. Delete button in camera guide. Menu button back.
Now, of course, I already have mine turned on, but one thing you'll notice as we're going through here, she's giving extra information. She said, delete button in camera guide, menu button back. So those are some other options that are available and they are displayed visually on the screen, but of course we can't see that, so she gives us that information audibly.
Screen reader, speed, standard.
So this is standard. It's kind of in the middle as far as reading speed. We have faster. Here's fast 1.
Radio button. Fast 2. Unselected.
Fast 2.
Fast 3. Unselected. Radio button.
And fast 3. That's the fastest.
Standard.
We also have slower options.
Slow 1. Unselected. Radio button. Slow 2. Unselected. Radio button. Unselected. The guide.
Next option in here
Volume.
is we can adjust the volume.
Delete button in camera guide. Menu button. Volume. 4, 6, 7.
And that is pretty much it. So you can turn on the screen reader, you can adjust the speed of the reading and the volume of the screen reader. Now, I am happy to report that 100% of this menu is read out loud. That was a problem in my previous video. I talked about how only certain elements in the menu system were read out loud. Well, they have fixed that. Everything is read out loud now, which is fantastic. But what about some of the other areas? If I get out of the menu,
Move to non-readout target.
so she said we move to a non-readout target, and that is screen reader speak for I can't read anything on this screen. And you unfortunately hear that in several places. So just in our live view here, she can't read anything out on the screen. If I bring up our quick menu, she can't read out any of these options as I cycle through all of these options in our quick menu. Now, if I were to click on something in the quick menu,
Still image movie subject recognition in AF. On.
now she can read this. So that is nice. Although she can't read that quick menu guide, if you were to click into something, she can read that. All right, well, what about playback? Let's jump into there.
Playback screen. Movie. A7CM2_1713 December 27th, 2023 12:15:31 p.m.
Okay. Now that's one of the downsides to a screen reader is sometimes it takes a while to get all that information out. Of course, once you get more used to it, you can bump up the speed of the screen reader and that will help. But what she did is she read out loud the name of this video file.
Playback. Left right button fast rewind fast forward. Down button control panel. Menu button back. Control panel. Pause. Button.
So it does work in playback, which is great, and it will announce all the different buttons, fast forwarding, rewind. Now, it is unfortunate that she doesn't read the quick menu here. But I mentioned at the beginning, there is a bit of a workaround that Sony has put in, which is awesome. We can go to our menu here.
New screen.
And if we go all the way to the top, number one, you have your My Menu, which is your customizable menu. That's awesome. You can set your most frequently used operations in that menu. So that can solve part of that problem. But an even better solution is right below that.
Main.
The main button. And this is a new addition to the menu system. This is like your own quick menu within the menu. And here, the screen reader does read out all of this information. And this is all of the information that is visually displayed when you're in live mode, when you're in live shooting. Like the recording frame rate, the aperture number, the ISO, all of that information is located here, super quick and easy to access. And like I said, the screen reader reads all of this out loud.
Shutter speed. 1/60. Rear dial page.
So if I needed to adjust my shutter speed, for example, I could hover over this and click OK.
Move to non-readout target.
And although it takes us back out to the live view here and she doesn't read that out, I know that my shutter speed was set to 1/60. So if I rotate my dial one time, it's going to be 1/80. And then I can always click OK to check that.
Menu screen. Main. 1. Shutter speed. 1/80.
So kind of using this little bit of a workaround, you are able to check all of those important settings. And some of these are read out loud. Like I just clicked on ISO and now I'm able to change my ISO and the screen reader is reading this out loud to me.
ISO 400. ISO 320.
All right, so that was a quick look at the new and improved screen reader on the Alpha line of cameras from Sony. If you saw my previous video, you can clearly see that they have improved it tremendously. And although there are still some areas here and there, some kind of odd areas that aren't read out loud, I would consider this a full screen reading solution. This has made setting up my A7C Mark II a way better experience than when I set up my A7 IV. In fact, when you get a new camera and you turn it on, it even asks you right away if you want to enable the screen reader, which is awesome. I didn't have to get any help at all in setting up this camera. And once again, as I said at the beginning, it's all about getting full and equal access to the tools that we need. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be putting out follow-up videos covering all the accessibility options on the new Alpha series cameras from Sony. The screen reader is only the beginning. They even have more options for low vision users. Really cool stuff. So stick around for that. And if you like this kind of content, please consider liking the video and sharing it. All of that engagement helps out the channel, and I truly appreciate that. A huge thank you to Sony for working with me on these videos and for your commitment to making your products more accessible. But that is it for this one, guys. As always, Sam with The Blind Life. I will see you next time.